if God's taken bets, then I pray he wants to lose. I want to take you back to June 14th, 1995. 12 days before my 15th birthday. Yes, that means today's my birthday. I want to take you back to a day where everything changed. You see, I was the person growing up that was always in the back taking notes and observing people and studying them. I was the one that was always there in the background. Because I never felt like I fit in anywhere. And I always felt rejected by everyone. So I lost myself in my hobbies, in my fandom, in my interests. And so June 14th, 1995 was an epic battle going on. On one side, you had the Houston Rockets, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon and Clyde the Glide Drexler reunited Phi Slamma Jamma to try to win a title to get revenge for 1983 when they failed and Goliath was slayed by David. On the other side, the Orlando Magic, Shaq and Penny, youth on their side. The new Magic and Kareem. And in a bustling city that was vibrant like Orlando, where everything, including Universal and Disney, were at the forefront. This was a team that was on the brink of breaking through and creating a new era and a new generation. I threw my heart and soul into Orlando growing up, just like most everyone did. And while they battled and it was a struggle, and they got to the finals, the wheels fell off. June 14th, 1995. The Houston Rockets swept the Orlando Magic 4 games to nothing. And I would like to say that that was basically my version of Husky Harris being punted by Randy Orton. And I felt that blow right to the back of my very skull. And you may be wondering, it's just a game. Why would this hit you so hard? Why would you put so much emotion, even 31 years, into an irrelevant sports event? The answer is this. I was somebody so beaten down and so completely depressed and rejected by everybody that all I had to hold on to was my fandom, and I was living vicariously through my favorite teams. And you would think that this would be a tale of just another fanboy that's crying in his beer, and life will go on. Oh, how I wish it was that easy. Oh, how I wish it was that simple. What happened that night when the Rockets swept the Orlando Magic? I woke up and I said to myself, all right, I don't want to be someone that lives in the shadows of others. I don't want to be someone that just gets joy through the experiences of others. I don't want to live vicariously through anyone else. I want to make my own path. I want to form my own road. Until that day, the fanboy disappeared. And so I was always the one in the back taking notes. I was always the one in the back observing people. And I gotta admit, I am my parents' son. I am my parents' son, and my parents were two wild ones. And I remember my mom making a weird comment to me when I was older. And she said to me, "Joey, you're from two sluts. How are you the way you are?" How are you the way you are? You see, I had always sat back and observed my entire life. And I wasn't one that wanted to play the field. I was never one that cared about the score on the table. I was a man that just wanted to find a woman and make a family. And so I would sit back and I would observe everything that people loved, everything that people admired. I would listen to conversations. I'd be the one guy in the background you didn't notice, sitting there where you go on and discussing things about your lives, where you go on idolizing people that you want to be, where you fawn over people that you want to marry, or maybe even just sleep with. And so I took everything and I said, all right. That is when it all started. I threw everything into basketball. And on the side, I threw everything into my second love, professional wrestling. But let's forget about that. Let's forget about wrestling for now and focus on basketball. I came from the time when hip-hop and basketball had collided paths. I came from a time when Tupac, Biggie, Busta Rhymes, leaders of the new school. I came from a time when R&B legends like Boyz II Men made the girls fawn over them. When guys like Marky Mark made the women drool. Oh my God. If you ever want to see something interesting, research the singer Jeremy Jordan. Because I would say that was the one that I'd always hear people fawn on. I'd always hear the women fawn over the most. The complete opposite of who I was and who I am. Wow. And I said, all right, I'm gonna become a street ball legend. I'm gonna build something, and I'm gonna go within, retreat within. I'm gonna make something of myself. And I don't care how long it takes, I'm gonna succeed. But see, time is a really, really strange mistress that can either smile at you and give you all the flowers in the world, or it can keep you chasing and chasing to the point where you go completely insane. I didn't realize back then what I was dealing with. I didn't realize back then how deep the well ran. And my answer initially was because of people and all the games they play and all the little teasing that everyone does, I decided to retreat within. I decided to just continue going within and just losing myself in everything. Oh, I was going to be the best street baller out there. You see guys like the Professor, you guys like Hot Sauce, the Bone Collector. You see all them. I wanted to be like them. Because I knew even back when I was young, the pros weren't for me. I grew up watching Above the Rim. I grew up watching White Man Can't Jump. I grew up watching movies like that, and I said, this is where I belong. And I was not going to address other things until I got there. But life took an interesting turn, and I had to go away. And I tried to make a comeback, not realizing how deep this all ran. And see, I was just fine. I was perfectly fine until this month, when it all came crashing down. I'd been looking for work for the past year and a half and was hoping to find something to sustain me. And I kept getting met with doors shutting and things not working out. And I thought I'd landed a job that would pull me out of the doldrums. I had made way to a job delivering packages for Amazon, and while it may not be that much money for someone in the position I'm in, that was a rope up. But just like everything else, it wasn't meant to be. And I got let go. And I had a nervous breakdown. And everything came flooding back. I just didn't know what to do. And I started thinking about everything. I started thinking about the price I have paid for isolation, for retreating within. In all the years that I've played basketball, and I want to say something to everyone that I've played ball with recently. I love you guys, and this is not your fault, because there are elements here in play that go deeper than you ever can imagine. I was someone that was breakneck, nothing to lose. We're going to make something. I'm going to make something of myself. I'm going to succeed in this. And then I'm going to come out from hiding because I'll be ready. Because maybe I'll finally be worthy. I'll finally be worthy to make that family. To be with someone. The afterthought of the world. The Eternal Misfit. Real name Joey Hamm. a lost soul from the pits of Florida, hoping to gain salvation and redemption for all of his sins. You can't keep hiding from everything forever. You can't run away from your problems and bottle them up forever. And pulling within was the biggest sin I have ever made in my life. And to everybody, to my boys out there at the cage, I am completely 100% sorry. To everyone that looked up to me, saying, "You're the guy that runs down the road," I'm sorry. To the lady cop that came to my house and was afraid that I was going to do something and Baker acted me for 2 days, I'm sorry. To the family that forgot about me, and understandably so, I get it. I know exactly how you feel. To the ones that forgot about me, I'm sorry. I look back at everything, and I look back at how emotional I was on the court, and I would be breaking down over little things. I would be breaking down, and we're going all out here. What the hell? I'm an open book. When you get so emotional that you bang your head open and you have blood dripping from it and everyone thinks you're crazy. All over a game. You can completely understand why everyone walks away from you. There are a lot more things on the field than everyone thinks. I love the game. I love the game for what it is. And if I had my way, I would be up there in Cleveland with Devontae Friga in the next chapter. I wanted to go up there. I wanted this all to be a comeback story. And I would be the lost hooper from the 90s, searching for redemption. And I would come out there at the open gyms that he advertised when he had the video for the professor. He advertised Thursday and Saturday, open runs. If I had my way and everything worked out, I wanted to come up there, and I didn't care if I lost every game and I was the worst player on the court. Because you know what? At least I was trying. At least I didn't give up. But I didn't realize how deep this all goes. You see, for me, this was never about basketball, straight up at all. It was partly about basketball. But this has always been the tale of a man deeply, deeply hurt and deeply lonely. And I can't help that we have fallen into such a low-trust society where everyone, men and women, demonize one another, calling them the worst of the worst, and saying that they're spoiled, they're saying that they're entitled, and they're saying that they're coddled. Well, I'm sorry. You're completely wrong. You're completely wrong, all of you. We're not all spoiled, entitled, and coddled. No. We are all misinformed and traumatized for different reasons. And at least people out there, a lot of people my age, yes, I'm 46, don't laugh. You know what, on second thought, I don't care. Because you know what? I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. And if I'm meant to be some locale that you scroll by and just laugh and go about your day, fine, so be it. But at least I can say that I'm true to myself, and I can hold my head up and say, I told my truth. I told the truth. A lot of people my age, a lot of people younger, they at least had somebody maybe at one time in their lives. And yes, maybe it didn't end the best. Maybe their lives fell apart. I see you, James. Take care of your business. At least they had somebody. But what of the man that never had anyone at all? I've been trying to say something to people through my posts on the channel, and I've put many pictures up, and I wanted someone to please, for the love of God, understand and read between the lines, because this has been a long time coming. I want to focus on some pictures from 2 months ago. I put a collection of 8 pictures. 8 pictures of girls, of women that inspired me. That inspired me to carry on and go forward. And continue and not give up. And the sad thing is, a lot of people would take it as, oh, these are women you just want to crush and get laid by. These are women you just want to validate you. No, you could not be further from the truth. These are women that were inspirations to push me forward. And I had hoped to God to maybe see once again when I hit a home run like Joey Hamm and won the game. But it's not meant to be like that. I guess not. But maybe the first 4 pictures, I'm going to give you a hint about all of them. The first 4 pictures, Hernando High, class of 1998. The second and third picture of those 4, science class, Miss Wacker's class, 11th grade. I ask you, do you remember me? The kid with the bowl cut. The goofy kid with the bowl cut. I ask, do you remember? Does it even matter? 5, 6, and 7. Florida State 2001 through 2004. Do you remember? Or does it even matter? The last picture, number 8, the one I put the hearts on the most. A girl 10 years younger than me. A sister of a friend that cheered me up a long time ago when I worked in a supermarket. Someone that took my heart the most. Do you remember me? Does it even matter? I still want to continue. I still want to hoop. But this goes deeper than basketball, and I need to confront all this face to face because I am tired of retreating within because it's done nothing but make things worse. And I am not ready to go forward the way I want to go. So I don't know how long it's going to take. But I see now that the Eternal Misfit is not about a kid coming back, a kid from the 90s coming back to reclaim his dreams and play as many games of basketball as possible. To push the hurt and demons and pain away. No. This is not about just basketball. This is not just a comeback basketball about. This is not just a comeback story about basketball. This is my life. This is my life. And I absolutely, at 46 years old on my birthday, I have no idea